Hello and welcome to all the viewers. In this video, we will going to discuss about fatigue analysis of nozzle shell junction using ANSYS Workbench Mechanical. So this video is nothing but the continuation of our fatigue analysis video playlist. So now let's discuss the problem statement of our present video. So this slide represents the problem statement. So in order to understand how to perform a fatigue analysis, we will going to consider a very simple problem. So here we need to perform fatigue analysis of nozzle shell junction for maximum and minimum pressure condition. So this is what our boundary condition, or you can say that loading condition. And here we need to calculate the fatigue damage for a design life of 10,000 cycle. So basically the permissible number of cycles are 10,000. Suppose if you receive the final design life, or you can say that after performing the FEA, when you get the fatigue life, if it is exceeding 10,000, then it means that your fatigue analysis is successful, or you can say that it is safe for the applied fatigue loading. If it is below 10,000, then in that case it will going to fail. So now here the maximum pressure condition for this is like 5 megapascal, whereas the minimum pressure condition is 2 megapascal. So as you know that we already covered the similar kind of video, but that video belongs to the ASME finite element ASME fatigue analysis basically. So if you go to our graphs engineering channel, so there you will find that we already covered the introduction to fatigue analysis as per ASME standard. So when we talk about pressure vessel, the first picture come into our mind is that we need to perform that with respect to ASME, or we need to perform with other FEA methods, other fatigue analysis methods. So you can go through this. We covered a lot of things like what is the basics, how introduction of fatigue, small introduction, and then the complete introduction to elastic approach. Okay, so how we follow the different procedures. And now when you have maximum and minimum condition, in order to get the faster response, in order to calculate the faster fatigue life, then you can use the present method, which we will going to discuss right now. Okay, so in addition to this, I will suggest you to just go through this, what is the fatigue analysis, the concept, and what are the different loads, and the definitions, what is mean stress, stress range, alternating stresses. So once you will go through that, then it will be easier for you to perform the fatigue analysis. Okay, now in addition to that, as we know that we need to perform the various mean stress correction methods. So what are that different mean stress correction methods? So you just have a look on that. So just refer our www.graphsengineering.com, and then you can go to respective tab in order to follow this fatigue analysis concepts and definition. Now moving towards our actual topic. So if you see here, we have two loading conditions, like peak condition, that is maximum pressure, and the value is 5 megapascal, which we need to apply to all the internal fluidic surface of this nozzle shell junction. Similarly, we need to also apply like minimum pressure conditions, that is also called as valley condition. When we talk about pressure vessels or any nozzle shell junction, so there we know that the pressure condition will be there, the temperature condition will be there. In addition to that, there also a nozzle loads will come into picture. So this is the simple problem statement, but when you follow this procedure, you need to follow the same procedure while applying the extreme loading condition, like peak conditions, max pressure plus temperature plus nozzle load, and valley minimum pressure plus nozzle load and minimum temperature. So like that. So now what we can do, we can go to our actual ANSYS problem, and there we will discuss how to get the faster results of fatigue analysis for the present loading condition. And regarding boundary conditions, So what we can do, we will do the worst case, like we will fix all degrees of freedom at this end. In addition to that, we will also fix at the other end. And at the top face, we will try to apply the compensating pressures, okay? Or you can also call as a thrust pressure. Now let's go to our actual problem execution part. So now I already in ANSYS Mechanical. So before that, I will take you to ANSYS. Okay. So I already solved that day, but I will further. I just copied that, and so let's go inside the. I will not going to discuss the how we imported geometry and all that part. So now let's go inside directly to the mechanical part. So once you imported geometry in design modeler or space claim, then you need to open your ANSYS Mechanical. So for the material point of view, we will consider the by default material, and if you want the different material, you just define that material over here, or you can define inside the engineering data. Okay, here you can define the material and you can specify the different material details. Okay, now this is the structural steel details. You can see like what is Young's modulus Poisson's ratio. So it is also available, and you can also see that SN cover. So basically this is the SN curve which is useful to calculate the fatigue life. Okay, now let's talk about the meshing part. So when you are doing any fatigue analysis, so always keep in mind you should always go with the finer mesh. I will just keep the some coarse mesh because to get the faster results. And what I will do, I will make this part and this part sizing, and let's put 15. Face meshing, and here let's define the two. So basically these are the two divisions. So let's see how it will generate the mesh. So now if you see that our mesh is completed, and by defining this face meshing and by defining this internal division, you can see that we have defined the minimum 2 elements across the fillet portion, or if you want further finer, you can just define 3. Update the mesh. So at least you should have 4 to 5 elements across the thickness as well as in the fillet part. Okay. Now you can see that inside also 3 element, outside also 3 element. So this is the critical part of our simulation. Now let's apply the boundary conditions and loading conditions. So when we talk about loading conditions, so we know that it is pressure. So let's select face, and here the option called limits, extend to limit. So what it does, it will extend to all the internal surfaces, so that no need to select one by one. So what is maximum value? That is 5 megapascal. Okay, now let's apply the fixed support conditions. So here as well as here, fixed support. So when you will going to do by your end, you should apply here like cylindrical supports to avoid the localized stress, and here you can apply the compensating pressure. Okay, but just to get the faster results, I just following the worst case scenario, and at the top face you should apply the compensating or thrust pressure. So how to calculate this, as let's go further. So if you refer to our blog post, and inside the advanced tab, you will find that what is compensating pressure, what is compensating force, what is thrust pressure. So you just go through this, and this is what the formula which we basically use to calculate the compensating force. Okay, now you can also go through this example where you will come to know the clear differences between when we apply the compensating part, compensating force or compensating pressure. So let's consider the compensating pressure and let's use this formula. By using this formula, I just found out this value 2 point. So I will just going to apply, insert pressure, and then okay. Now this is all about our simulation part. Now the results which we want, deformation, total deformation, and we want the stress value. Solve this. So as we use very coarse mesh, so we should get the faster results. So now if you see, our simulation is performed. So now let's discuss the results. The very first results is like the deformation. The deformation point of view, like we found the maximum deformation on this nozzle shield junction part, like 0.35, and on the top of the flange is 0.18. Now let's increase some scale and let's try to animate that so that we can see the behavior. So now if you see that, so as expected, it should behave like this only. Here it is fixed. Okay. Now let's see the stress part. So when we talk about stress, for fatigue, we will need the maximum value. So here you can see that the maximum is 421 megapascal, and here also like 238 megapascal. Okay. Or inside, the inside value is quite higher, so 411. So if you do the stress linearization, in that case I think it will be near about 300 350. Okay, still it is exceeding the yield limit. When we talk about structural steel, basically it is like 207 approximately. Let's see what is the value if it is given here. Young's modulus, shear modulus, yield strength. See, it is 250, so it is exceeding the 250. It means it is critical part. Okay. Now, when we talk about fatigue, we have another loading condition, that is 2 megapascal. Here it is 5 megapascal. So for that, we need to simply duplicate this part. Instead of doing duplication, you need to follow the same. So in that case, you should have just drag like this, drag and drop, so that you will carry the same file in the another deck, and just go inside that and simply select all this part and you can drag over here. So basically we are copying, and here let's define the value 2 megapascal. Let's check the value for 2 megapascal, the compensating pressure value. Okay, so let's change this. Now remaining pressure condition, fixed support is okay. Now let's solve the simulation. And let's get deformation and stresses, and let's evaluate the result. So when we talk about deformation, it should reduce, because for 5 megapascal we received 0.36, so it should reduce. So if you multiply like by the factor of 5 by 2, you should get the same results. Okay, and also here the maximum stress value is 168. Let's probe inside this, 157. Okay, from top to bottom it is varying nearly from 100 to 160. So near about we should get 130 to 140 for a stress relation. So this is the part of performing your maximum pressure condition, and here let's define, rename here like minimum pressure condition. Okay, So now in order to perform the fatigue, so we have max pressure condition, we have minimum pressure condition. So now let's do the simple fatigue calculations by using ANSYS mechanical tool. So for that you just need to go to model tab, right click over there, and you can go insert, and then here you will find that the first tab, that is solution combinations. So first define the solution combination, and inside this you can choose the first load, that is max pressure condition, and here you can define as a positive one. So here let's add the base case, let's define the another, that is minimum pressure condition, and here you should define -1. Okay, so max minus minimum, so like that it will going to perform the solution combination. So here let's define the fatigue tool. So if you want fatigue tool, then you just need to right click solution combination, and here you can define first the life, and then right click and solve the results. So before write life, let's see what is the equivalent alternating stress. Solve. So in general it should have the subtraction, that is like 421 minus 168. So basically if you do a linear combination, 428 1 minus 168, you should get this approximately 253. Okay, so this is nothing but our equivalent alternating stress. So before calculating this, let's go inside the fatigue tool. So now when we talk about fatigue strength factor, now you can see that it is basically varying from 0.01 to 1. So it is related to your surface quality. So when we talk about ASME fatigue calculation, so let's go through this. There also we have some factors we need to consider. So this is the structural per thermal part. You can see that there are different factors we need to consider: fatigue strength reduction factor, fatigue penalty factor, Poisson correction factor. So all these factors you can find that when we calculate the alternating stress. The similar kind of factors here in a mechanical tool you will find only one factor, that is fatigue strength factor. So all these factors you can get these values from ASME documentation. So there you can easily find out what is the values of that. So let's go to our tab. So you can see like this is the single factor, that is fatigue strength factor. So let's consider the one, and if you reduce that, your fatigue values will going to reduce. Then here you can define the loading condition, whether you want fully reverse zero base ratio. So all this loading condition we discuss over our blog, so you can refer from there, and then you can refer the combination, that is okay, whether you want stress life or strain life. So we want stress life approach, and then if you want the mean stress correction theory, so let's use the different theories. For this let's use the most conservative, that is ASM elliptical. So you can see this is what the most conservative one, and then here the result, like if you want stress or strain kind of thing. So now let's talk about the fatigue alternating equivalent stress, and now let's talk about the life. So we have a life of minimum, that is 24,159. So you can see over here, if you probe like approximately 26,000, and on the top part, so now if you put here like 25,000, so on the inside that only you will find that. Okay, so this is all about your fatigue life calculation. Now if you remember, in problem definition we have a fatigue life called 10,000. So it is exceeding that, so it means that it is safe. So this respective shell nozzle junction is safe for applied loading condition. Now let's talk about damage. So here we should input that value of a damage, that is 10,000 cycle. So if you define damage, and here you need to define the permissible number of cycles or design life cycles. So this is called design, and when we will get from FEA, it should have your permissible number of cycles. So now if you see the fatigue damage is less than once, it means our nozzle shell junction is safe one. Okay, this is my first part, and let's check this first one, and which we solved in front of you, that is this one. So here we use a semi-stress, equivalent stress. Now let's calculate the damage. I'm repeating the same step. Okay, and then solve. So you should have similar kind of results here. Life also like adjust to visible. It is 11,000 over here. Actually, before this, I was showing you previously solved file. So for which we condition 5 megapascal and here 2 megapascal, but we have not applied compensating pressure. Also, the mesh is quite coarse over here. You can see like, okay, this is the first deck, and I will show you. This is the first deck which I am talking about. Now the second deck which I solved in front of you here. Here if you see that our mesh is quite finer. So once, and also we applied a compensating pressure. So likewise our equivalent stress values slightly change, and our life is also changed. Okay, and here you can see that our fatigue tool. So if you want to vary this value, let's define 0.8, then you should notify the difference in the life. So if you see here, our life is reduced 5.5, and if you see the damage, it is increased 1. So basically it is failing in this case. Okay, so that is the importance of our fatigue strength reduction factor, fatigue strength factor over here. Okay, so now if you want to change even the Goodman diagram, Goodman method of mean stress corrections, so you can see like there is no change or slightly change in life, equivalent stress and damage. Okay, so that's it guys. This is the simple case which we consider a max minus minimum pressure conditions, which is slightly vary compared to ASME fatigue. But when you have a pressure vessel and you have max pressure and minimum pressure condition, and if you want to know the quick fatigue analysis check, then in that case you should use this simple tool called fatigue tool. Okay, and here in the similar fashion you can also apply the max temperature condition, minimum temperature conditions, and here you can define the max pressure, max means here you can define the peak condition, and here you can define the valley condition, and inside the solution combination you can define 1 minus 1. Okay, and at the last you just use this fatigue tool, define the different parameters to calculate the fatigue life, and then at the last just calculate the fatigue life, equivalent stress, damage. In addition to that, there are a few more things like biaxial indication, equivalent stress, safety factor, which I think for a pressure vessel case is not needed. Okay, the most important factor here is damage, which should be less than 1, your alternating equivalent stress and your life. Okay, so that's it guys. So before wind up of this respective video, I will just wanted to discuss with you. We are planning to create a course on like pressure vessels analysis by as per ASME. So in this you will find that we will going to cover all the design analysis part, that is part 5. So you can see like we will going to cover protection against plastic collapse by elastic stress, elastic plastic, limit load. Also we will cover cyclic loading, fatigue analysis of welds, and then how to perform the local failure calculations, stress relation, stress classification. So while doing this, we will going to use the ANSYS as a FEA tool. So here you will going to learn ASME as well as ANSYS. So here we will cover from basics like from sketch to 3D or 2D modeling, then how to perform the hex mesh or date mesh, then weld model, how to define the symmetry condition, and how to perform the stress relations. But when we'll going to receive 100 plus requirements, then only we will going to cover this respective course, because the efforts for this course will be huge from our side. It will not going to cover within a single or two video. It will be have more than 20 plus video kind of thing. In addition to that, if you see this course on our internet, if you try to Google, you will find that this course value will be more than $1,000, but we will try to cover that in between $100 to $200, so it will be helpful for our all the viewers. But when we have more requests, we already received few requests, so you just put comment over here. Okay, you put comment over there, and then based on request we will try to give the feedback whether we will going to cover or not. So that's it guys, thank you for a present video. Let's meet in the next video. If you have any comments related to present video, let me know in the comment section. We will try to reply. Thanks, bye bye, take care.